welcome back to my channel. It is episode 8. I've been thrown off because the last vlog was a holiday vlog, Ibiza. If you haven't already checked it out, go have a little look. It's a bit different from the past few videos I've posted. We had a diet break and a deload whilst away in Ibiza. It was like an early 30th celebration, bit of drama going on with the suitcase never arriving, so had to deal with that. Was lots of highs and lows in that video, but I felt amazing after coming back from a deload, diet break, some extra food, lots of rest, and just some good downtime and enjoying that time with my boyfriend Andy. We had an amazing time, but I'm ready to get back to it. So I'll give you a bit of a prep update before I go into what we're going to cover in this week's episode of Prep Hacks. I am currently sitting at 9 weeks out from my first show of the season, and I'm going to be doing NFM UK as my first show, which is a different federation than what I've done before. Just fancy doing a little bit something different. They've got quite a bit of a different style of posing. I also get to show my back on stage, which is something that you don't get to do with NPC and IFBB. Obviously, you want to have your hair covered. So, you know, worked really hard on this back. I want to show it off, so that's why I'm doing that. They've also got a really good opportunity for progression in that federation, so that's something I always want to be able to do. You know, you can turn pro, you can then go compete abroad, which are all things that really help when you're like trying to compete. You want to have a big goal to kind of focus and drive towards. So that's going to be my first show of the season. I had a new low weigh-in this morning at 57 kg, so I've dropped quite a bit since I last did one of these updates. And I kind of can't believe how well this week has gone. My lifts have been incredible. Like, I got PBs, I hit 200 kg for 12 on the hip thrust machine, and I just had some really good sessions. I've never really done a proper diet break and deload like that before in a prep, but I will definitely be implementing them in the future because it really worked a charm, and yeah, I'm blown away by how my body has responded this week, which is fantastic. I've just done my morning check-in. It is Monday morning. I always do a check-in on a Monday, and I do lots of check-ins throughout the week as well, just to, you know, make sure I'm practicing my posing. Also like to check in at different times of the day to see how my body is looking after a couple of meals, things like that. So something I didn't do last prep, but as I'm going to be on later in the day and whatever shows that I do, it's probably more accurate to see how I'm looking after I've done some movement, after I've had water and food. So I'm kind of trying to get on it, and as I get closer to show, I will literally be doing check-ins like numerous times across the day. Pop that check-in for you now so you can see how I'm looking. compete on a budget when you are doing a bikini prep. It is quite an expensive sport, but there are ways to make it cheaper. First thing I'm going to cover is coaching. Coaching yourself or getting a coach. Now, if it's your first prep, I highly recommend, in fact, I think it's pretty essential that you hire a coach, because you have no idea what you're getting yourself in for. You've never been stage lean before, you don't know what it actually takes to get there, and it's really good to have that guidance and that support and accountability and someone to be accountable to. Now, I decided to coach myself for my second season and also this season, but I have a lot of experience within the competing world, with being a PT, with being a coach myself. I've worked with lots of different people, lifestyle clients, competitive clients. I can see how people's body respond. I do a lot of research. I'm in this day to day, and it is a huge part of my life and my career. So I do have a lot more experience than someone that maybe, isn't necessarily in the fitness and health world as their day-to-day job. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, obviously, when you are choosing a coach, some coaches are more experienced than others, some coaches are more expensive than others. You might want to have someone that is local to you that you can go and actually get, in-person check-ins, rather than having a coach who is, in a different country or something like that. Coaching can range between like £100 all the way up to like £300, depending who you get, what their experience is, how big their team is, things like that. So what I would say is the most important thing is to find someone that you click with and you get on with. So follow multiple coaches, look at what their clients are doing, look at how they coach, someone that you can get along with. Some coaches are very simple when it comes to their check-in process. You might just be sending some pictures and your weight, and that is about it. They might not be very responsive. You might only hear from them once a week. Other coaches, like myself, go full in, balls to the wall. Like, even with my lifestyle clients, I have 2 different forms they fill in. We do weekly check-ins, we do video calls, we analyze training videos. My competitor clients, they will know that who has ever been with me in the past. I basically come like your mother when I am prepping someone, and this is why I don't have a lot of prep clients. I don't actually have any at the moment, but I would love to coach people in the future. Like one of my clients, Carly, I literally did absolutely everything, probably more than she actually paid me for. I went to all of her shows, I did her makeup for her, I did her hair for her. I was there, doing calls all the time, like trying to be on it, because it is a big thing. And I think the most important thing is having someone that actually cares about you and your health, as well as your results and how well you do on show day. Other things to cover: when you are prepping for a show, you will have a certain diet that you have to follow. Now, some coaches allow you to kind of talk about what kind of foods you eat anyway. Some coaches will give you a diet plan that they think works for you. Now, because I coach myself and I have the ability to choose the different types of foods that I eat, I try and keep costs to a minimum. The fact that I'm gluten-free, lots of gluten-free products are very expensive. So things like gluten-free bread, I don't tend to go for. I just would rather have rice, cream of rice, oats, and the choices that I make are kind of help me to not spend loads and loads of money, but also get everything that I need within my diet. So things like eggs are cheap, rice, potatoes, chicken, beef. I go for beef mince rather than steak. Things like salmon are great, but they do tend to add up if you're having salmon every day in your diet. What I tend to do is have a non-fatty fish. I normally have tuna, cod or smoked bass, and which is, you can get for relatively cheap. And then I also supplement with like omega-3. Your food choices will also determine how expensive your diet is. When it comes to show day, there is lots of things that you can do yourself, or you can pay someone else to do. Your hair, your makeup, your tan. If you're getting a makeup artist, getting your hair done, that's costing probably between £60 and £100 each. Your tan can be upwards of, £50 to £100 on show day as well. You can actually buy a DIY kit, which I have used for all but one of my shows, and it works great. ProTan do the little mini bottles, which you would basically be having the same thing done if you went and had a spray tan. You have your base coat, then you have your top coat, and you also get a little bottle of the shine spray as well, which you would put on before you get on stage. That one is much cheaper, and you can get a couple of uses out of it. I like to do a DIY tan unless I'm feeling like I want to just can't be bothered to do it and just want to get it done, which I've only done one time, and that was the British finals last year. Bikinis! So my first season actually made my own bikini, which I sort of bought the base. It definitely wasn't the right cut, but at the time I was like, I'm not spending £300 to £400 on a bikini. I'm gonna go grab my first bikini I ever made and show you, because I mean there's pros and cons to this as well, so be right back. So, bikini things. Got a few things up my sleeve for this season when it comes to bikinis. I have bought a new one, which was like my parents' and my nana's birthday present to me for my 30th birthday, but we're going to save that reveal for another video. This was the first bikini that I ever wore on stage. Interesting colour choice, I know.
And here's a couple of pictures of me wearing the bikini. So this was the UK BFF show and I placed second.
I actually was happy with how it came out. Basically what I did was I bought this bikini, I added these straps, and I crystallized this whole thing, which, to be fair, considering I'd never done it before, I was going for like an ombre kind of thing, was quite happy with. But I'm not joking, it took me so long to do, and the fact I was in like a full 9-to-5 job, training, cardio, everything on top of that, like I would get in from all that and I was like, I've got to do something with this because otherwise it's not going to be done. So yeah, I did that my first season. I think the actual bikini was like 20 quid off eBay or something. The bottoms definitely were not the right cut on the back. They were way too big, but yeah, crystallized all that as well, and the kind of glue made it go a little bit weird. So, but it was an experiment, and the next year I was like, right, I'm paying someone, and I got a customized bikini from Bikini Mama.
So this was the bikini I wore for my last 2 shows of my first season. It's more of a Russian style one, so I wouldn't really wear it for an NPC show. This one is like a black into like a bluey green, fully customized. So this was probably between, I think it was about 300, either 300 or 350. And so I sold actually this bikini to buy some gym equipment in lockdown for my garden. So totally worth it.
Last season, I then bought another new bikini, which she did as well, so that's the box that it came in. I've actually started doing something with this bikini. I'll put in a clip now of what that bikini used to look like. I've actually decided I'm going to recrystallize it. So it used to have, as you can see in that video, purple in it as well. Now, because I competed a couple of years ago, I feel like now the trend is more like a sort of monochromatic look or similar sort of colouring. So I didn't like the fact that it had another colour in. Even at the time it was gorgeous. I decided I want to recrystallize it. So I painstakingly took off all the purple gems. I'm dropping loads here, which I will also put a little clip in of that and like how long it took. So what I've done is I've bought some new crystals. Got some like darker ones here. They're a little bit more bluey than what I would have liked, and there's some lighter ones there. I might get some more, haven't quite decided yet, but I want to basically have this as more of a bluey green and no purple in it. So that's a big task that I'm going to have to do at some point. But I'm basically reusing a bikini that I have. You don't have to buy a new bikini every season. But I did actually go for another one. I bought this one off eBay. And you can go on there, and a lot of people, they'll wear the bikinis once. They want to sell them to get a new bikini, so you can sometimes get some really good offers. So this is the one that I bought off eBay. Luckily it fit me perfectly. That was a big plus. I'm actually going to be changing this one as well this season. I'm going to remove these because these window sort of connectors are quite outdated as well, and I'm going to go for like a 2 or a single line strap. And then I'm also going to put a connector in the middle, which it didn't have last time, to kind of just bring that, so a similar sort of thing. Oh, I could actually To be fair, I've just thought I could take the one off here and put that on there. That might save me some money more too, so yeah, I've got the connector in the middle. The gems aren't really that expensive, like if you wanted to buy some to put on, like bikinis when someone else makes them for you are very, very expensive. But even if you just bought like a posing bikini, you could crystallize it yourself, save yourself a lot of money, but it just depends on what's more important to you, money or time, because it is very time consuming. Also, bonus with this, I got loads of jewellery, like absolutely tons of it. I think about 10 pairs of earrings. So now I've already invested in all these things. Probably don't need to buy any kind of new jewellery because I've got all that from previous shows. But yeah, go online, secondhand stuff works just as good. This is also the little pro tan kit that you've got, and that's not much left in there, but that's essentially the bottle that you get. You just put this on and that will save you a lot of money. I made some little notes here because prep brain's kicking in and I can't remember anything anymore. Supplements and the gym, of course, are expenses. Like there's certain things which are more essential than others. With supplements, I've been very fortunate in that I have a sponsorship, which is something that I work to try and get. If you are trying to get sponsored by any sort of brand, you want to sort of show that you're a good ambassador of the sport. That's what I kind of did. I posted lots of videos, I was very active on my socials, and that is how you get sponsors if you are trying to. There are sometimes brands looking for people to sponsor, so keep an eye out, and that's another way that you can look to save money as well. Your gym, obviously you've got your gym membership. You can go for a more expensive gym, a cheaper gym. I would probably stay away from commercial gyms. If you're a bodybuilder, you do not want to be waiting and queuing for gym equipment. Go to an independent bodybuilding gym. They might be slightly more expensive, but they are going to be worth it, because you're going to get on the machines, you're going to have good equipment, and you can just focus on your workout rather than worrying about other people. Show entry. Now, some federations are more expensive than others. Some of them, you know, you can spend £80 for entry to a show. Some of them, like if you're trying to do a pro qualifier with the NPC to IFBB Pro League, then they are going to be expensive. I've paid like £250 for an entry to a show day, and then you also have to pay like your NPC membership on top of that. The most expensive federation in the world is definitely WBFF. I think it's about £350 for show entry, and also those bikinis are very, very over the top. There's loads of glitz and glam going on. They have to have gown wear, so that is a more expensive federation. You can go, if you're just starting off, go for like little local ones. IFBA, I think it was, that was really small show. I've done Miami Pro, I've done UK BFF, there's Elite Pro, there's lots of smaller federations which don't tend to charge as much. So if you're just getting started and you're not sure if the sport is for you and you don't want to spend loads of money, then just try a little local show first, see how you feel, and then if you really want to get stuck into it and spend more money, then you can always do that. Obviously, when you are picking your shows as well, there's different locations. Some will be closer to you, some will be further away. The further away the show is, the more expensive it's going to be to travel there, to stay in a hotel. If you're wanting to compete abroad, then I've obviously got flights and things like that. So things to bear in mind. Some things you can do to save money on that is try and find other competitors who are doing similar shows. You know, share things like traveling, getting the carpool together, finding an Airbnb that's a bit cheaper. Maybe if your show is in like an actual hotel, trying to find a cheaper hotel to stay in that is nearby. Posing is something that, again, if you're just starting off, get yourself a posing coach, because it's very difficult to look at someone else and know exactly what you need to do. And when you're first starting off, or if you go into a new federation, it might be different, you know, poses that you're not used to doing, and having someone as a second eye is really, really useful. I am going to be implementing the help of Leonie, who will be my posing coach for this season. I have done all of it up till now on my own. I've literally had 2 posing in-person lessons when I very, very first started. I, again, am probably not the best example of trying to say, you know, go to a coach, because I'm very stubborn. I like to do things myself, and I have worked to the point where I'm happy with my posing, but I need someone in those last few weeks to give me that extra eye, especially in your back pose. It can be difficult, but I will repeatedly video, analyze, watch it again, make a tweak, practice. Like, the more time you put into it, but a lot of it can be sort of taken to that next level if you have a posing coach. Basically, competing can be very, very expensive if you pay for absolutely everything for someone else to do that for you. But there are lots of things that you can do to save money, which is exactly what I have done. If you want any more advice on that, then always feel free to drop me a message on Instagram or in the comments section on this video, and I can help you out, because I'm queen of saving when competing and with just, you know, saving in life in general. What else to cover in this video? I might put in a little glute workout, which I'm doing today. I'm still hitting glutes 3 times a week, my upper body. I've been doing shoulders 3 times a week, but I've decided now I can put a little bit more back in. So I'm going to try and have my bigger sessions on a weekend, smaller sessions in the week. So today is Monday, it's glute day, and I'm very excited for a good pump. I'm going to pop that in there. Hope you've enjoyed this video and enjoying this workout next, and we'll see you on the next video.
They say that love is blind, but I never trusted sight. When I turn and look inside, there's nothing I can't find. In the silence of the night, when my demons come alive, I hear a voice disguised, telling me we're not alright. You're always on my mind. On my mind. You're always on my mind. On my mind. One taste, you can't get enough. One kiss, you feel like my love. One taste, you can't get enough. One touch, you feel like my love. One taste, you can't get enough. One kiss, you feel like my love. One taste, you can't get enough. One touch, you feel like my love. They say that love is blind, but I never trusted sight. When I turn and look inside, there's nothing I can't find. In the silence of the night, when my demons come alive, I hear a voice just